Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our video. Today we're gonna explain to you a C++ program about a program to purchase a cellphone credit balance. But before that, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Kezia Agustina Purba and my free last name is 039.
My name is Adelia, Ramandani, and my free last name is 022.
And my name is Nur Diana Faiza, and my last 3-digit name is 029.
And here is our explanation. Enjoy our explanation.
Enjoy.
So, this program starts with the user entering a password. If the user enters the wrong password, it will be directed to repeat the password again. If the user enters the wrong password 3 times in a row, the program will end. However, if the program entered by the user is correct, the user will be asked to enter the data in the context of the name and cell phone number. Then it will display the output in the form of a list of available credit items. It can be seen that there are 10 credit items that can be selected, ranging from a price of 10,000 rupiah to 1 million rupiah. After that, the user will be directed to fill in the code of the selected item to continue the credit purchase transaction. If the user chooses other than the number between 1 and 10, the code output will appear not available and the program will end. However, if the user chooses one of the number between 1 and 10, then the user will be asked, is the user sure about the choice? If the user chooses no, then the program will be completed, and if yes, then the transaction is processed. After the transaction is declared successful, the user will be asked again, does the user need another transaction? If the user chooses yes, then the user will be directed to fill in the data again. If the user chooses no, then the program will end.
I will tell you the code that we use for this program. First, we have the void loading. We use this to create a loading effect that is simulated with printing loading messages in loop without reading the real progress that has been happening. So the loading that's going to be shown on the output is not the real progress that is happening, it's just a visual effect. Void is a command or function that does not return any value. When a function's return type is specified as void, it means that the function doesn't produce any result to be used in the expressions or assignment. So on the first loading, it's gonna print loading from 1% to 100%. And then for the second loading, it's gonna present mohon tunggu sebentar, transaksi sedang diproses from 1% to 100%. So after we declare the loading first, then we can call the loading on whichever part that we want to from the program. On the program, we make a command to check password. So before the user do any transaction or even before the user start the program, they have to enter some password that has been decided or has been specified. And then we use some loop again here. So if the user enter the wrong password, there gonna be some warning that say password yang Anda masukkan salah, silahkan masukkan password yang benar. Then the user have to enter the password again. If the user enter the incorrect password until 3 times, then the program will stop. It will say, Anda gagal dalam autentikasi, program berhenti. But if the user enter the correct password, then the user can continue to the next step. the program will start the main loop inside the main function. In this loop, the user gonna be asked to enter some data, such as their name and also their phone number. After they enter that data, then we call the loading functions, so the loading effect will be displayed there. And after that, we show the list of the available credits the user can choose. The program will display the purchase details for a front credit balance list consisting of 10 nominal amounts, and the user gonna be asked to enter the credit purchase code. The user can only choose one among the 10 choices. And then if the code that entered by the user is valid, the program will display purchase details, including the credit price and also their name and also their phone number. And then the user will be asked to confirm whether they want to continue the transactions or not. But if the code that is entered is invalid, then the program will stop and the user cannot continue the program again. If the user agreed to carry out the transactions, then the program will display the loading effect, the second loading effect. And then after that, the program will display a success message and proceed the transactions. And once the transaction is complete, the user is given the options to make another transactions or exit the program. If the user wants to make another transactions, then the loop will be repeated back to the main function, so they have to input their data again, such as their name and also their phone number. But if the user chose to exit the program, then the program will provide a thank you message and it will wait for the user to press any button to exit the program.
The program is a simple application for purchasing cellphone credit balance. The program starts with the check password function, which prompts the user to enter a password. If the password entered is correct, then the loading function will be called to display a loading message. If the password is incorrect after 3 attempts, the program will give an authentication failure message, and the user cannot continue the program because the program will stop. After successful authentication, the program starts the main loop inside the main function. In this loop, the user asks to enter data such as name and phone number. Next, the loading function is called again to provide a loading effect before displaying the list of available credit. The program displays the purchase detail for phone credit balance list consistent of the nominal amount, and the user asks to enter the credit purchase code. If the code entered is valid, the program displays purchase detail, include the credit price. User then asks to confirm whether they want to continue the transaction. If the code entered is valid, the program will stop and the user cannot continue the program. If the user agrees to carry out the transaction, the program displays a success message and process the transaction. When the transaction is complete, the user is given two options to make another transaction or exit the program. The loop will be repeated back to the main function if the user wants to make another transaction. The program will provide a thank you message after the user completes the transaction and wait for the user to press any button to exit.
That's all from us.
Thanks for watching, and we apologize if there is any mistake in our explanation. Bye guys!